Lecture 4: The Exploits of Sato and the Agano, A Legacy of Valor and Tragedy, from the World of Warships podcast by Lynn and Dave. Welcome, dear scholars of the seas, to Lecture 4 in our thrilling odyssey through naval history. Today we delve deep into the Pacific theater of World War II and the fascinating, albeit tragic, career of the Japanese light cruiser Agano and her dashing but unsung commander Sato. Prepare yourselves for a tale of courage, strategy, and survival as we unravel the exploits of a ship and her crew under imaginable fire. A commander of ambition. Sato, an ambitious officer of the Imperial Japanese Navy, was the kind of leader sailors both feared and admired. With a razor-sharp mind for tactics and an unwavering dedication to duty, Sato quickly rose through the ranks, becoming one of the youngest commanders to take the helm of a vessel like the Agano. He was known for his ability to maintain composure under pressure, earning the respect of both superiors and subordinates. Sato's first command aboard Agano came in November 1942, when the ship was fresh from the docks of Sasebo Naval Arsenal. She was state-of-the-art, sleek, fast, and brimming with firepower. Sato was tasked with leading Destroyer Squadron 10, Sentai 10, a critical role requiring strategic cunning and the ability to inspire confidence in the midst of chaos. Agano's first test. Operation Key. Under Sato's command, Agano's early missions were focused on supporting Japan's faltering grip on the Pacific. Operation Key, the evacuation of Japanese troops from the hellish fighting on Guadalcanal, was a baptism of fire for Sato and his crew. Over 9 harrowing days, Agano braved relentless air attacks and prowling submarines, escorting transports as 11,700 exhausted soldiers were extracted under the noses of the enemy. Sato's ability to anticipate danger and position Agano effectively during air raids was critical to the operation's success. His mantra, to see the enemy before they see you, became the guiding principle for his squadron. The Battle of Empress Augusta Bay, a fight for survival. The night of November 1, 1943, saw Sato and the Agano thrust into one of the most chaotic naval engagements of the Pacific War, the Battle of Empress Augusta Bay. With Rear Admiral Sentaro Omori commanding the Japanese task force, Sato led Agano in the southernmost column of the formation. As radar screens aboard American ships lit up with the silhouettes of the approaching Japanese fleet, chaos reigned. The engagement was marked by the ferocity of close quarters fighting, with torpedoes slicing through the water and gunfire illuminating the night sky. Agano's gunners managed to land a hit on the destroyer USS Spence, but the battle turned against the Japanese as disorganized maneuvers left the task force vulnerable. When the order to retreat came, it was Sato's calm decision-making that ensured Agano's survival. As American shells flashed perilously close, Sato ordered evasive maneuvers that took the ship to safety. Despite the retreat, the crew remembered Sato's unflinching resolve as they faced the overwhelming might of the enemy. The Rabaul Nightmare, Courage Under Fire. In the weeks following Empress Augusta Bay, Agano found herself in the crosshairs of relentless American air power. On November 11, 1943, during a ferocious air raid on Rabaul, Agano was struck by a torpedo that tore off her stern. With the ship crippled, Sato faced the most daunting challenge of his career. Determined to save his ship and crew, he directed emergency repairs, coordinating efforts to stabilize the vessel. Against all odds, Agano limped to the Japanese stronghold of, oh boy, part of the letters, I think it says truck, escorted by destroyers. It was here that Sato's reputation as a leader who put his crew above all else was cemented. As one sailor later recalled, he stood on deck through the storm, shouting orders while the rest of us held on for our lives. The final voyage. Tragedy strikes. By February 1944, after months of repairs, Agano was deemed seaworthy enough to attempt to return to Japan for further restoration. Sato, ever the realist, knew the dangers of the journey, but was determined to see it through. On February 16, disaster struck. The American submarine USS Skate launched a devastating torpedo attack that sent Agano to the ocean floor. Though Sato and over 500 crew members were rescued by the destroyer Oit, their ordeal was far from over. The following day, American aircraft attacked Oit, sinking her and sealing the fate of nearly all aboard, including Sato. The legacy of Kaigan Shuri Toru Sato and Agano. While Agano's career was short-lived, her story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit under fire. For Kaigan Shuri Toru Sato, the ship was more than a vessel. It was a stage upon which he demonstrated the qualities of leadership and valor. Though he perished at sea, his name lives on among naval historians as an example of what it means to lead with courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Agano in the modern era, a captain's challenge. Today, Agano is immortalized in the world of naval strategy games like World of Warships. Players who command her face the same challenges that Sato once did, balancing agility, firepower, and survival. Her powerful torpedoes, excellent concealment, and high speed make her a formidable foe in the hands of a skilled captain. However, her weak armor and slow reload times remind players of the thin margin between victory and disaster. As you command the Agano in battle, remember the lessons of Kaigan Choichoru Sato. See the enemy before they see you. Strike swiftly and never lose your composure under fire. And thus concludes Lecture 4, my friends. Let us honor the brave men who served aboard Agano and the extraordinary commander who guided her through some of the darkest days of the Pacific War. May their stories inspire you in your own battles, whether on the seas of history or in the digital waters of the modern age.